Okay, welcome everybody back to the Rachel and Tommy show. We're going to come up with a new name, something a little more creative.
Said that last time.
I know, we still have it. What did we come up with, by the way? What did we say?
Oh, we did say something about nothing?
Something about nothing. I like that.
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
Anyway, we'll see. It's still in beta. I have a client that talks like that. He's like, oh, it's in beta or alpha. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
But I'm going to use it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we have the lovely Ardie Pearce
Yes.
from Decor.
Yes.
And Ardie comes. She's has a local business owner here in Orange Beach, Alabama. Home furnishings, decor, all the things. So we're real excited to get to know her and kick it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
Yeah.
So how long have you owned Mint Decor? When did you open it?
So we have been open going on 9 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're in our 8th year. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So did y'all always start they're in the cutest little spot, by the way, in
I know, I
the
always
village of
pass it.
Tannen.
Yeah.
Did you always, is that where you first started or were you somewhere else?
Well, we started it from my dining room table. And
Yep.
so we worked from my dining room table for about 6 months. And I knew that I didn't want to be in a strip mall. And I knew that I didn't want to be on Canal because everybody else who does this is on Canal. And so we were really... I had a real vision for what I wanted it to look like. I wanted something charming, something unique, and just happened to be driving by our building in the village of Tannen and saw that it was for lease and called on it immediately and kind of got the ball rolling. Met with the owners at the time that owned the building at the time. On a Sunday, met us there. It was still sand it hadn't even been built out. It was still sand inside, and met him and his wife, and he stood in the center of the sand with us and held our hands, prayed over it, and said, I know you're the one. And it kind of went,
That's
it
cool.
went from there. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, when we went to brick and mortar, that's always been our place, yeah.
Absolutely. So I think for those of you that don't know, so what does Mint Decor do? What are your services?
Oh gosh, what don't we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do everything. So basically, I started doing design down here and working for, I worked for myself to begin with, but because I was buying from other stores, the stores that I was buying from both asked me to come and work for them. And I eventually worked for both of them. And, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of what not to do. Neither store is in business anymore down here. And what I found was that there was something missing as far as being able to be the eyes and ears for your clients down here. We are a resort town. People buy here a lot of times. If it's their personal home, it's their second home. And a lot of investment properties. And so they don't live here full time. Yes. They needed somebody they could trust to handle everything. They're also, every time you build a new building, the older ones look older. And there's a lot of updating that needs to happen to compete with the new buildings as far as investment properties.
Sure.
And so they needed somebody that could really oversee an entire project from ceiling down to flooring to full renovation, updating, and then going in and furnishing it and making sure that it's done right, done with people they can trust, and also that it doesn't go over budget and it's done on time because timing is everything.
Yeah.
Deadline is everything.
With that, you said it was created at your dining room table.
Yes.
You were doing it kind of independently. Was it word of mouth? Like people were just finding out about you and you do someone's home and they recommend you to someone else? Is that kind of how the ball got rolling with that?
Well, what happened was I had a friend that I had met, and here our kids played soccer together, and she was opening a medical clinic in Gulf Shores, and she needed somebody to help design it. It wasn't her. She's a nurse practitioner, and that just wasn't her thing.
Right.
And so she asked me if I would help her, and I said absolutely. I had done it in California, but I hadn't done it since I had moved here. I was pretty new to Orange Beach and just got started, and that's where I began buying from different stores in the area and meeting the owners and meeting the other people that worked at these stores. And then they were saying, well, we need the help. We have customers that need help. Yeah. Can you help us? Would you work for us? And that's kind of how it got started.
Yeah.
So my friend Kate kind of kicked me off here by giving me her medical clinic.
That's awesome.
And then people that were coming into the clinic were asking her, who did your clinic?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Proof in the
thank you.
pudding, you know,
Yeah,
they see
yeah.
the work.
And it's
Yeah.
word of mouth then from there too.
Yeah.
Word of mouth has been how
It's the biggest.
it's the biggest compliment ever, because right now we have probably one of the busiest teams, if not the busiest design team.
So how many properties right now are you designing? Like, what do you
About 43.
43.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's commercial and residential.
It's everything.
Everything.
Commercial, residential, investment properties, personal
So
properties.
you do staging too?
I don't do staging.
Okay.
Yeah. Staging, I would do models. And
Okay.
we've done models at our own expense, but then sell them furnished.
Got
or
it.
Offer to sell them furnished. But staging is not something that we do. We're too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I love, like if you haven't been in her storefront, it's really cool because everything you see you can purchase. Like they have it there.
Yeah.
You know, whereas a lot of times, especially during COVID, you could be waiting for something for months to come in. She has the inventory in stock.
Yeah, that's
and you
right.
pay for it, and you have a warehouse that you'll hold it in until you're ready for. I mean, I know there's a time
For
frame before.
installing.
Yeah.
We do. We bought a 10,000 square foot climate controlled warehouse in Foley.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah, that helps.
It
Have
helps.
everything there.
It helps. We keep so much in stock that we would sell. We have access to it in our computers. So if somebody came in and they needed a coffee table and it wasn't on the floor what they wanted, chances are we might have it in the warehouse, and then we could deliver it pretty much immediately.
Which is huge because people come in on the whim and they're like, I got to have it now. I've got rentals starting.
Yeah.
I delayed,
Yeah. I had a Viviana, which is it's a 5-bedroom home with 2 living rooms
Yeah.
and a full outdoor in Perdido Key sell. Or the buyers called me and said, we want it rented like next week. And I said, okay. And they said, how fast can you get this done? I designed it in 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Much better.
Did complete design boards, put it all together, invoiced it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I can hear you now. That wasn't supposed to come out of my mouth. That was in my head.
And I looked
Much
over.
better.
I was like, you're talking to me.
You did great. Sorry. So you designed it.
We designed it in 4 hours. We just kind of got to work, got it done. It's easy when you know your product so well. We have 300 vendors, but we know every vendor like the back of our hands.
Oh my gosh.
So we designed it. Now, when we design, we're not just designing either. We're looking into every single item that we are presenting on their timeline to make sure that we either have it in stock or that we can get it within that time frame. So we had it done in 4 hours, sent the boards off to the client, sent it with an invoice, kept it on budget, and they said yes. They moved forward. They paid that day. We began ordering anything we didn't have. My team kind of went through our warehouse and our stores. What we call bag and tagged anything that we were using that they approved. We pull that off. It goes into the warehouse until we're ready for install. Everything that we ordered, we already knew we could get it on time. We had it installed and ready for rent in 8 days.
That's incredible. A 5-bedroom.
So how big's your team?
Right now we have 11 of
Okay.
the hardest working, the most professional, integrity-filled people I've ever been surrounded by. Took a long time to get there.
I was
Sure,
going to say,
yeah.
I think that's the hardest part
It
of
is.
running a business.
Oh,
it's just having the right team around you. And it's ever changing and your business is evolving and people aren't, and you got to just keep
roll
it
with
moving.
Keep it moving. And, I think that when I first started this business, I had a lot to learn in that area.
Yes.
I wanted everybody to like me.
I think we all
Yeah.
It's
and
hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
And I ignored a lot of things because
Yep. Keep the peace.
keep the peace, the whole thing, and I didn't realize. And, they would come to me and I would do the interviewing and I would hear their sob stories and I'd want to rescue them.
Yep.
Oh, come to me. And I didn't realize that their sob stories was coming with them
Yeah.
because they were the problem. I joke and say I could write a book on some of the things that we've been through.
Sure, same.
I could have a reality show, probably the best hit
Yes.
out there.
No,
We've had some, from adultery to addiction to fraud
yeah.
to theft to betrayal from the people that you thought you loved the most and could trust the most. Those are the ones that will betray you.
Of
know.
course.
It's the ones you do the most for.
100%.
And it's so sad
there,
because
done that
with
many
your
times.
it's a hard line, the employer-employee relationship.
But you learn it after
Because-
getting burned.
and
you
that's
learn
true.
it.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing is like we're people. We're relationship people. We want
Right.
to know you and love you and
Right.
and treat you like family and
Yes.
and have a relationship. But at the end of the day, the harsh reality is they're collecting a paycheck and you are providing that means. And you hate for that to sound like that. That's very
Yeah.
so cut dry seeming.
Yeah.
But it's the ones you trust the most that you let in
It is.
that are the ones that hurt the most when
It
they,
is.
you know,
It
do what
is.
they do.
And they never tell the story. What happens is they leave and they make you the biggest thing crazy and mean. And it's like, when was I ever crazy?
I
and
know.
mean? I just reacted to your betrayal. I
Yeah.
reacted to your theft. I reacted to the fact that you were sleeping with other employees. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I reacted to your bad behavior, and I remained the same. And so, and reacting is a lot of times there was no blowout. It was just, they could no longer work there anymore.
Like, I found this out.
I
You gotta
found
go.
this out. I've confronted you on this, and this is happening, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're the bad guy. But they were just at your house at a party you
And
hosted
love you, and you're
yesterday.
the best. and,
Yeah,
That's
you're their best friend
right.
for that one.
I just
yeah.
don't understand that.
I
'Cause
don't
it's
either.
happened to both of us.
I know.
And
Yeah.
this year,
Oh, and it
too.
hurts. Yeah. Well, mine just happened last week.
And I,
So it's still very raw, you
Still
know,
very raw,
but it's
yeah.
happened before, you know, many times. And it's always that learning and like, oh, dang, you know, like that sucks. That people
and at the end of the day,
suck.
people really
Yeah.
just care about themselves, no matter how
Yeah.
you go out of the way.
It's
you're
a me
helping
world,
this.
you know,
is.
so.
And I don't lead my life like that. So I think when people do burn that bridge, it's very like, how do you? It's
Yeah,
just
right.
hard.
And listen, I'm no saint. I'm not easy to work for. I am
Right.
demanding.
I
have
agree with
standards.
that. Yeah,
I have
about-
expectations
Yeah.
because I have high expectations
As
for
you should,
myself.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's only natural that those things kind of trickle down to staff.
and it's
that
a high
You're
stress
representing me, you know?
industry
Right.
that we're in.
Yes.
So it's not for everybody
Right.
to also
Right.
work in it.
And
Right.
sometimes I might pop off and get sassy, and you
Right.
know, but I always come back and like, you know, I'm
Right.
sorry, I should have done
Yeah.
that, you know,
Right.
or it's a high intense moment, or you know,
And there's things too where mine was over the last, it's been a couple years now. And so what I've learned is I had to really look at myself and say, okay, what about me do I need to change? I was more emotional. I was more,
Yes, I get
was,
this.
yeah, all
Yes.
of those things. And so now I'm just very calm. I also realized I don't do the hiring anymore. I don't do
That's
any,
smart.
I don't do any of the interviewing. I let my staff do that. There's people that are appointed to do that now. And because I just realized I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
I cast too wide of a net.
Yeah.
And, but now we have, I say this thing all the time, and it just came to me when I was going through all of it because it was tough. It was tough. I went even and saw a therapist and said, "How do I get this out of my head?"
Yep.
Because it hurts so
Yeah.
so bad. I think the biggest thing is I wanted to say, "What did I do to you?"
right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like all I ever did was give to you,
Mm-hmm.
and all you did was take, and now I'm the bad guy. Like how this isn't working for me. Like
Yes.
I couldn't make sense of it,
Yeah.
and so. What I realized is, and not to get too crazy on you, but
Let's get crazy.
Okay, well, God weeds the gardens He intends to
Yeah.
bloom, and what I realized is, I was watering this garden that looked lush and full, and had, all the soil was covered, and it was greenery, and some of it was even flowering, and then there were beautiful flowers here and there. And what I didn't realize was what looked like ground coverage to me. And I'm standing there watering it and giving to it and taking care of it. They were weeds. And I couldn't see what was happening under the soil. Mm-hmm. But God can.
Yeah.
And so He began weeding that garden. And to me, I'm standing there going, wait, what? No, it's looking bare. Now I can see
Yes.
soil. And what's happening? And it felt like loss. And it hurt deep. And then I realized He was just getting rid of those weeds because they were underneath the soil, strangling and twisting and betraying and hurting and keeping
preventing the growth.
that garden from growing. And also too much coverage, you couldn't plant anything else.
Yeah.
And so I was watering weeds. And so they were removed. And now I can't even tell you, I'm calmer.
Yep.
I'm more at peace. I'm not as impulsive. I trust the people around me and trust my instincts, which before I would not listen to them because I wanted everybody
Sure.
to like me.
I
Right,
get that.
right.
And so I'm just more calm. I'm more at peace. I'm not as emotional anymore. I make very quick decisions. I'm quick to recognize if something's throwing our vibe off because I have the best people around me now.
That's amazing.
I have people around me that I I know without a shadow of a doubt we're God appointed because I didn't force it.
Yep.
They came to me at exactly the right time, and they all love each other with such loyalty and honesty, and they're such good people that I now am completely at peace, and that has changed. When you're at peace,
That's so true.
Yeah, changes it all.
it changes everything
It
because
does.
now when there's something
It
that's
so
not
does.
right, you recognize it right
It
away.
so does.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this, I mean, today, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's for a reason. And it hurts.
Everything.
But it's for a reason.
Everything's for a reason,
Yeah.
but it's so hard in the moment. You're like, how
Yes.
could you do this to me?
Yeah.
Or like, what did I do wrong? And you're like,
Yeah.
no, this is
And you play it back over and over
But
and over.
Over and over.
Yeah.
I called it
makes
the
you
rabbit
crazy.
hole.
It's the
I
rabbit
know.
hole, yeah.
I'm in the rabbit
I know.
hole.
I say the hamster wheel. I'm just on the hamster wheel, and I
Yeah.
can't get off of it, and I need closure. But the closure was what they did. That was the closure.
Yeah.
That's the closure.
You know, and I got to accept it, you know?
Accept it and then be excited for what's coming.
What's ahead?
That's
That's
true.
right.
Be excited for what's coming because I'm telling you, if you look at it as it being weeded, then you can be excited about what's being planted. Because I had to change my frame of mind on it.
Yep.
I was looking at what I thought I was losing, and now I'm like, I was losing losers, and now, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
And the
Right.
thing
Yeah,
is, too,
bye.
I think a lot of times when these people do wean out of your life, like you always knew in your gut they weren't the
did.
right fit. Like I
Yes.
always knew, and I just
Yes.
didn't want to have that like dramatic moment in time. It was
Yes.
easier just to like sweep it under the rug
Yes.
than to have this awkward conversation because you become, I mean, I know me, I become close with people.
Yes.
Now I have my guard up. Now
it's a
it's like
shame.
I go
I know.
home. I don't socialize. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just, there's
Me
a
too.
block up now.
Yeah.
Me too. 2 years. I just really, in fact, if anybody's on my Facebook, you notice we do a lot in Pensacola. I don't really go out to eat here. I shop in Pensacola.
But that's the thing.
I
I know.
protected myself for a while. And you know what else I needed to realize is I didn't know who I was enough. And so sometimes I put up with, I knew in my gut, but I didn't think I was worthy of more. I thought that I was lucky to have them in my life and I was building this friendship with these people, but I knew in my gut who they were.
Yes.
And now
Always.
I am totally okay and totally I know who I am. I know how I treat people. I know how honest I am.
Yep.
I know that none of those things I've ever done. I've never stolen. I've never betrayed. I've never done these things that I won't get too into detail about. But the things I never did, and so I know I'm a good person, and I know I loved them completely.
Yes.
And if they were honest, they would tell you that too.
Yep.
And I've got years and years and years and years of pictures and parties and text messages and cards and everything to prove it.
I know.
yeah.
I was good.
I know.
Yeah. I know who I am and I know who
Right.
I was and I know how I loved them and I know how I love now. So now my standard's higher.
Yeah,
Now
that's great.
I'll cut. I'll do it kindly, but I will back away from somebody that I don't feel is
I get
going to be the same caliber person, and that's why I actually now I want to be worthy of the people that are around me now.
Yes.
Because they are just such good people. Nobody gives me that feeling that you know you have.
That intuition, I
yeah,
know.
that you ignore and ignore that
I
was
know.
always there.
I always,
yeah.
always knew. And then sometimes I'm like, all right, it's still her. But then I was like, thank you, God.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
no, I could just move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, but I mean, someone sent me some motivational speaker talking, and some people are just here for a season in your life, and that's it's just the
A reason
truth.
and a season.
There's a
true.
reason they got you to the next step of your business. They helped, they
Absolutely.
contributed, and now it was just time for someone else and a change.
Absolutely.
true.
And a business is always evolving.
Yep.
But I think I don't think I know, is having the right people around you. That is the hardest part.
Yep. Especially on this island. You can have the best people and the worst people.
Yeah.
This island, I was telling you guys earlier, it can chew you up and spit you out, but if you allow it to teach you lessons and
Yes.
make you better, then you will gravitate towards the best
Yeah.
of the people. You will, and you'll learn how to recognize and move away from the ones that are disturbing
Your peace.
your peace. Yeah. I would not, looking back on probably one of the most painful years of my life, I wouldn't change one thing.
Yeah.
Not one thing. Because I wouldn't be the same person I am today.
This is very true.
I am so thankful for the lessons and for where I am right now.
Yeah.
I've never known such peace and calm and also never known myself and my strengths like I do now,
No, I
So,
think that's good for all business owners to know, especially new ones. I mean, you're going to go through hell and back.
Oh, yeah.
And that's normal. We all do.
Yep.
We all go home, and sometimes we all have this conversation. I'm done. Like, I am
Oh, yeah.
out. Like,
I'm done.
done.
I can't give any more.
Oh, yeah. You know, many times I thought I'm done. I can't do this. But you do. You get up every day and you do it, and you have to put that smile on your face. And
Sometimes it's hard to get out of bed, but
It
you
is,
still
I
do
know.
it and you
Yeah.
show up.
You
have a
show up.
passion
Because
for
nobody
it.
runs your business like you do.
No,
You know?
it's true. It's true. So I'm glad I'm through it now. And
Good.
so hang in there. I know it's new and raw for you. It only gets better. I tell my kids all the time, whether you see it as a staircase or a ladder, it's not easy climbing up to the next level. You're gonna get scraped and bumped, and you're gonna fall, and you're gonna get bruised, and it's tough. And sometimes pulling yourself up and pulling yourself out of bed to get up to that next level. But the view's better up there.
True.
You can stay on the level you're on and just stay there and cruise through life. That's not me.
No.
I'm climbing to the top.
Right.
Yep. And so I just now know, okay, that's all right. I'm going to keep climbing. And if I fall and I get banged up, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to climb because the next level, the view's better.
Yep.
You know more, so.
Come with me or get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Because I told you we're expanding, and not really saying where, but we're opening another mint, and
Is it in this state?
no.
Okay. There's your teaser.
Yeah. Is it drivable? Yeah,
Yes.
it's close by. Okay.
Yeah. So I had told couple people no because they're helping me, and I said, oh, I'm not dipping my toe in. I'm cannonballing into it.
That's the only way to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm go.
We
big
always
or
say,
go home.
big.
Yep.
That was my class motto, by the way. When we
Was
graduated.
it?
Go.
Yeah.
It was like go big or go home or something. Yeah.
It's for like your headphones.
Zinga. Loved it. That is awesome.
I love that. So, what is your end game goal? Like, what is your goal? What are you trying to climb to?
World domination. No, I'm kidding. Kind of. Right now I kind of feel energized. I feel great. I feel like if the opportunity arises and it feels like something I can do and that I'm passionate about and I've got the right people in mind, then I say let's go. I tell my team all the time there's no ceiling on anything for any of you or me. So yeah, I want to go big. Mint. Because Mint takes such good care of every project we do, we've never missed a deadline. I've never gone over budget.
Wow.
Never. Yeah, knock on wood.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. About that. That might be an edit.
I don't know if that's really real wood either. So.
Sounded like a dong dong. Remember the Gong Show? I think I'm getting out. Yeah. I'm the type of person that lays in bed at night and thinks about 85 different
I know.
businesses.
85 different businesses?
Businesses. I
Same.
think.
Do you?
Yes, I love everything.
I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
No.
such an entrepreneur at heart that I'm always thinking. The only thing that makes it difficult for me is there's not enough of me.
I
And
know.
need to
That's
come-
always the hardest part.
That's the hardest part, and then also being in an area like this, there aren't always enough people, to
Yes.
You can only be
to
spread
get
so
it.
thin, yeah.
You can only be spread so thin, and I don't want. The reason why it took us a while to decide on this area to open another mint is because I needed to know that I can manage it and that it's going to get the same attention.
That's the
the
hardest
clients
part.
will always get the same attention and the same quality as the one here.
Yep.
And because we've built Mint word of mouth, we are.
Yep.
Sometimes we'll run 56 projects at a time. And we work with the best contractors. Talk about learning your lesson there.
Okay.
Oh,
Especially down here.
Trust
Ooh.
in
Oh,
that.
my
That was one of the
gosh.
hardest things.
Oh.
I know.
One that lied about being licensed, and I could get into that, but I'm not going to. Now we check everything. You have to be licensed up to home builder. I want to know that your character is intact, your integrity, your work ethic.
Yep.
You're fair, you're honest, you communicate. No punch lists. We don't have time for them. And so, or very, very little punch lists.
Yes.
And so we've gathered some of the best of the best. I've used the same ones over and over again for years, because if if Mint recommends them or uses them, you already know they've been vetted.
So true.
My thing is if I wouldn't let you in my house to do work when I wasn't there, you're not going anywhere near our clients. So integrity is everything, and then quality of work and quality of person
Yes.
is everything. But it took us a while. So I tell everybody when they come into town and they meet me, I say, you don't need to do all your interviewing and going around. I've
You
already
have
done
everybody.
it.
Yeah.
And I will bob and weave around all the ones that I know not to use.
Yes.
And I won't say anything bad about anybody.
Right. That's a small town.
To anybody, yeah, I just won't. What I'll say is, let me give you a few more names to throw in the mix, or allow me to handle that for you.
Yes.
If I know that they're
Yes.
kind of
It's probably the same like for us. And,
Yeah,
the real
absolutely.
world. You
And
know
that's-
which ones you're like, okay, all right. It'll be an
Lord.
interesting
Oh,
deal.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get them on their good day.
Yeah, you know who to kind of
Uh-huh.
bob and weave around, and who to kind of keep your guard up around, and then also,
Is there a number of projects that you want, or like, is there a goal in mind? Like, we want to get to like 100 projects at a time, or no?
I would love that.
Yeah.
If I had the right team in mind.
I know.
I have to manage that as well. We have a lot of meetings. We communicate really well. Our
There's
team.
always so much going on.
There's so much, and I don't want to overburden my team either.
Then they get burnt out too.
Yeah, and I don't want any of our clients ever to feel like they're slipping through the cracks.
Yes.
Or that we aren't.
It's hard
available
to
for a phone call.
manage.
Yeah. So, we've so far done really well, and that would be really important to me. And so, so building the right team where we're opening is really important to me. And so far, we're on a really good track there.
That's awesome.
And
when do you expect to be opened, your new location?
yesterday.
I know all about yesterday.
Yeah. No, it's already in motion, and so hopefully really soon.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's switch some gears up.
Okay,
Okay, let's talk
okay.
about some fun stuff too.
Yeah.
Not that wasn't fun. That was
Yeah.
fun. Okay, yeah. I love design. I love color. I love
Yeah.
furniture. I love all the things. So tell us what you see are like some trends that are coming down the pipe.
So trends are difficult, I think, sometimes because we try not to do too trendy,
Right.
because my goal is to have it last for 5 to 7 years. People are
Okay.
spending a lot of money with us. And so we want it trendy enough to where it's beautiful and on trend, but we also don't want them having to spend money in a year from now because they did something that was very trendy and kind of out now. But for me, what we see hopefully coming more and more into this area is a very clean lined coastal into this area.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of what I call California style a little
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
So not so cottagey, not so farmhousey, but very clean lined, still coastal, still inviting, still comfortable. As far as color, I think any color can work. I used to be very, very muted. I still love that really muted kind of natural, neutral whites, bright pops of color, fun, whimsical. So for us, we do majority of investment properties. We do a lot of homes too. We're doing a lot of personal homes right now, but for investment properties.
Okay.
It should grab your attention. I should probably coin this phrase. I say it so much, but we want to stop the swipe. You're swiping past.
Oh,
people
yeah,
are swiping.
Yes.
What's going to grab them and stop that swipe?
Yes.
Why are they going to choose your minted condo over somebody else's? So our biggest thing is unique. Catch them while they're swiping. We want it to be clean, not cluttered. Clean and fresh, those clean lines, inviting, comfortable. There's a real fine line between kind of the cleanliness and the luxury feel of a high-end hotel, but with the warmth of knowing that they're renting a condo and not a hotel.
Yes.
So there's a real balance there. So we want to accommodate the guests. We want them to stop the swipe, which means great.
I get that.
Great art.
I get that.
Yeah.
I have a unit at the Caribs, so I get it.
Yeah.
Swiping through pictures all the time.
Swiping through pictures, what's going to grab you? So that's why we started. I think we were the first ones to do a fireplace wall in a condo.
I love that.
Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you. So that also building our loft beds. It adds more heads and beds without looking like a dormitory or
Yes.
like it's a cult room. You know, that they're all going to drink their
Absolutely.
Kool-Aid and 85 of them are going to pack into there. But we want it to be appealing to teenagers, to adults, to kids, our bunk rooms, you know. And so we always tell them we're not going to make it look like the Finding Nemo room, because if the teenagers get that room or a young couple and their kids get that room,
Don't put a
it's still-
sour on it. You know?
Right, right.
It's like the Real Housewives when they go on their trips
Yeah.
and they're all
And they'll
fussing
fight
over
over
the
the
rooms.
room.
And so they're like,
Exactly.
I got the bunk bedroom. I'm like, bitch, that is a nice room, you know?
I know. I just watched one last night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously. They're on
the
this.
New
Was it the New York
the
one?
New York
Where
one. They were
Uma's
just-
fussing
yeah.
about the
They
room.
were
I'm
just-
like,
yeah.
girl, come
She's
on.
like, I'm going to the Ritz. I was
Yeah.
like, really?
She's just trying to
I
be like,
know.
I'm rich and you're not.
I'm going to.
I know. I'm too rich for this room, and I'm
Right.
like,
Come on.
girl, come on. It's how often are you even in? I mean,
I know. You're not even
You're going to be in the
I know.
pool or in the living
exactly,
room, you know?
exactly. And the room was beautiful.
Yeah.
I know. It was a gorgeous
so-
house.
I know, I'd be pissed if I owned that house. You know, be like,
Yeah.
I know, right?
I know, and you were probably letting them use it
For free?
for free,
Or a discount, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then they're
for the
yeah.
exposure and they're
Yeah.
dogging it.
So, do you have a favorite project that you've done in your past 9 years, or one that jumps out at you?
Oh gosh, there's so many. There's so many good ones
Yeah.
that there's so many favorites, and then every week we're doing more that then go, oh, this is my new favorite. This is my
Really?
new favorite. I have favorite clients, you know, stories, people that we've met along the way, people that had just lost a spouse or going through, you know, cancer treatments or things like that we get to celebrate with them or help them through and give them some bit of happiness through life's tough things. Also people that have saved forever to own an investment property or a second home down here, that we get to be a part of that excitement. So clients that become friends, and people that are you know, that have more money than God, that you think, oh my gosh, how do I even know this person?
Right.
How am I even working with this
Yes.
person? Who have done huge things. We worked with somebody who was pretty high up in politics.
Really?
Oh yeah. And then
At a state level or a national level?
she was a senator and ran for governor for
Oh.
a state. And
That's amazing.
yeah,
That's
one
a
of-
huge accomplishment.
She was probably one of the kindest,
Yep.
most badass women I've ever met in my life. She's become a friend. I adore her. And it wouldn't matter to me whether she was running for governor or not. She was in oil before. I mean, we're talking like just a badass woman on every level, you know.
That's amazing.
It wouldn't matter to me what she did. She was one of the best human beings I've ever met, and I'm proud to call her a friend. To people that come in and have saved because they finally have enough to buy a chair.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
And so we're all excited and cheering because they got the chair they've wanted for their living room for a year. They've saved.
You
for it
help
or
every
whatever.
level. And that's
Every
how
level.
we do our clients
I
as
love
well.
that. I
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
we learn so much from our clients too
Sure.
in life. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the things I like
Yeah.
about real estate. We
Yeah.
learned so much.
I had somebody call me out of the blue and said, I know it's not a big budget, but would
Yeah.
you help me? And I said, listen,
know.
right now I have a $110,000 RV, which
Yeah.
I'm proud to have. It was
yeah.
the first, it was the first
Yes.
RV I ever had.
Yes.
And I just sold a $4.5 million home. So it's
Yes.
like we
Yep.
work every spectrum.
Everyone's the same.
Yeah.
I want to make sure your needs are met and that you're taken care of,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. And we the cool thing about my team is we get excited about it. Doesn't matter. It, like you were saying, the size of it doesn't matter. It's the person that
Absolutely.
we get. Our motto at Mint is you walk in a customer, you become a client, you leave a friend, and that's really truly we some of my clients have become my best friends.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
so that's exciting for me.
Okay, so if you could design for any celebrity,
Oh gosh.
it could even be a Bravo celebrity, okay? Anybody you know. Who would it be
Oh my
and
gosh.
why?
Oh my gosh, you guys are putting me on the spot. I wish I had overnight to think about this so I could sound really.
I
I
know.
know.
That's
I didn't want to
hard.
give it. I didn't want it
That's
to be so produced.
hard.
Let's just get the real meat and potatoes.
Gosh, well, can it be my free pass at the same time?
This is not Plead the Fifth.
Oh my
Different talk show.
gosh. Oh my gosh, there's so many that I would love to work with and to meet.
Who do you see that you're like, I vibe with that their look, their aesthetic. I could really knock something out of the park for them.
So it would be probably either probably Mark Wahlberg, just so I can meet him.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, but I'm trying to You know who I would love to design with and for either one of her restaurants or for her home, because I would be able to go as bougie and over the top as possible as Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah.
Oh,
LVP.
yeah.
That would be a good one.
Oh my gosh, because I always have to kind of restrain myself a little bit. Out here, got to keep it classy, got to keep it clean line, got to keep it,
Yes.
where we're not doing too much, because a lot of them are investment properties.
Yeah.
But to be able to just get in there and go as wild
know.
and wicked as I
Yeah.
wanted to, and as blingy as I wanted to, and with kind of no budget.
Yeah.
Probably.
With no budget, yeah.
But she's also like a boss. You know what I mean?
She is a boss.
Yeah, that's
I'd-
fun.
I'd want to work with her just to watch her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just
hear her
absorb.
talk.
Yeah.
I love the accent.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw somebody's home. You know who has great taste? Well, her designer has great taste, because you know she wasn't doing
Right.
it. Is believe it or not, Kendall Jenner.
Oh, yeah.
If you saw her home, I was really impressed, because all the Kardashians typically keep it all white and it's very
Boring.
clean.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
And she's got kids. Kim's got like 7 kids.
I know.
Yeah.
Hers is so
You know they're not living in that
white.
house.
I
How you
know,
doing that?
I know.
You got $1 million sofa, please. Come
yeah,
on.
I know.
$1 million sofa, really?
$1 million. Just okay. Now, can I change my answer?
Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Kendall, I was watching a show where she opened the door into her home, and her choice of it was so warm and interesting and eclectic, and
I love that.
the tile choices, all of that. That was, I was really impressed. I wanted to, it was one of those kind of sweeping, where I wanted to stop it and study
more.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh,
yeah.
I wish I had your eye. I wish. I just don't think like that. Tommy's better at it than me too.
Wow, I just love it. Yeah.
I just don't have the
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah.
Just wasn't born with that.
That's your job security for me.
Literally, I can't even, because we did just move and then I put stuff on a shelf. I was like, even that doesn't make sense. Like, I can even make the shelf make sense.
It's harder in your own home too.
It's so
So,
hard.
yeah.
And I'm into like the modern, I like the
Yes.
darker, like the black, the white, the darker.
Yep.
Like that's
She
what I
loves
like.
Gucci.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just got a big old huge Gucci book on my.
Did-
I'm actually saving it because it's going to go in our other business. But yeah,
I love those books.
So I have black accent walls at my house.
Love that.
My
I love
island's
the black and the
yeah.
white.
Yeah, yeah. I really see. Well, the trend is darker right
That's
now.
what I like. I
Yeah.
like the darker. I used to always like
Yeah.
the light. Now I want the darker.
Yeah, moody and just
Yes,
interesting
moody.
and cool and kind of sexy. That sexy vibe. You can,
Yes.
where it's it's the dark greens are really
Yes.
are having their moment right
Yep.
now.
Color
And-
drenching.
Yes, there's a
Yeah.
lot of
Or
green.
just
I'll go to a
feeling,
property
yeah.
showing it, and there's a lot of like dark green accent walls, and
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
But
Like, I love
usually,
it.
I always tell people, like, all right, when you see that and it's everywhere, you might want to pump the brakes a little bit and reconsider, because that means it's probably going to go
All right, we
real
can
quick.
change paint
Like
color.
shiplap, you know, like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
shiplap had a
shiplap.
moment.
Shiplap had
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah.
And, down here, shiplap, people ask me all the time. They're like, I love it. Is it going to go out of style? Yeah, in
girl, it's
Texas.
been out.
Well, it's been out. I'm so.
But it's still fun. I still like it. You know, it's
It's still coastal.
It's
Yeah.
still coastal. That's the thing.
I mean-
It still works.
I know. When people come in. And,
this was here. We worked with it.
you work with it. But they're still building houses where every wall is shiplap.
No,
and,
yeah,
and so the thing is down here is I'll tell people, if you love it, then it's always in
Yeah,
style.
that's right.
True.
And the thing about shiplap, keep it clean. Stop with where you can see the wood grain and the like
Yeah.
the shabby
Yes.
chic look and all of that. But with shiplap, if you change your mind a little bit and think of it as kind of Hampton-y, kind of that Nantucket kind of Hampton
Right.
look, then it's classy and it's coastal.
Yeah. 'Cause it
And
does
you- and
add
you
some
can
depth
work with-
and
It
some-
adds some
yeah,
texture
some
and some
warmth,
depth. And
yeah.
yeah. But I'm with you. I'm kind of like, oh God. Sometimes we always go, if we've got one that's like, I just want this and this, and we've done it 1,000 times, we call it Subway and sea salt.
Oh, there you go.
Sea salt paint and Subway tile.
I
and
used
a
to
little
love
bit of
sea
that.
salt.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. So, but it still can be beautiful.
I know.
If
True.
it's done right and kind of unique.
Yep.
Unique design every time for us. We know we'll never do the same room twice. Even people that come in and say, I want this room, I'm in love with it, I'll say that's all right, but I've got to change a little bit because that person paid me for that design. And
That's
so,
true.
so you may get different art, or you may get the same vibe and the same feel, but we always change something.
That's smart.
So yeah, it just honors our
People
clients.
swiping and they see the same room. That would be
Exactly.
awkward.
That's
yeah.
Exactly.
So you work with a lot of different people, and people are funny.
Oh yeah.
So what is the most like unique request you've had that you feel like you could share?
Oh God.
That you were like, okay, that's a little weird, but we'll do it.
Oh, we ended up we had this client just recently, last year, and she wrote us, it was in writing because it's in her file, that she wanted teal, peach, purple, glitter, silver, and unicorns
What?
in her rental, and horses. And we did it. We pulled it off, and I have witnesses because her real estate agent came to the review that we did it, and it was actually really kind of pretty. It wasn't something that I would have been like, look what we did, you know. But we pulled it off, and it had all of her colors and everything. And she came into the review, and she was like, oh, and we spend hours putting these together because we have 300 vendors. So we pull from everything.
Yes.
We pull it together. We've done all the research, all of the background on it. Is it going to come in on time? Can we get it in? And then working with a budget and trying to make sure, does it hit the budget? Where are we spending money here to get this?
She did this for a rental property or for herself personally?
Rental.
Okay, but where are I want to know where the unicorns are incorporated. It's just kids' room, like unicorn wallpaper?
She wanted it. She wanted it throughout. I think.
Are they chic unicorns or are they like
Ours was
Lisa Frank unicorns?
Like one piece of have you ever seen a chic unicorn?
I know, right? Well, that's why I'm asking. I'm so curious.
I think we did a piece of art or something, like one piece of art, like in a bathroom or something. I can't even remember it now, but so we spend a lot of time doing this, and she came in and said, "Oh, I've changed my mind now. Now I want blue," and I'm like, oh my gosh, we spent so much time on this. She ended up not moving forward. And so, yeah.
Oh, that's
She was not, you want to talk about my favorite? We can talk about maybe somebody who wasn't my favorite. She was not a nice person. And so, yeah. How do you like unicorns and glitter and not be nice? I don't know.
I don't, right? Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, she exists. So, so basically, she didn't move forward. I sent her a very nice text and said, "No problem, no worries. I'm sure your condo will be beautiful and
I hope you trip on the unicorn."
Yeah, yeah. So it ended that way, and then I found that was one that you kind of go, okay, I'm going to have to digest this one a little bit. Talk about a rabbit hole. Like, what the heck? Like, my team really spent a lot of time on this, and we gave you exactly what you wanted. And it turns out she ended up selling the unit, and she sold it to a client that then turned around and hired me, and we did their unit, and it's beautiful.
Full circle.
Oh, my
Full circle.
God.
Full circle moment.
That's the best karma.
Weeded, planted.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have bought it if it had all the unicorns and everything.
No, they bought it empty. She sold it before it even opened. It was give you an idea. It was
a new one.
Yeah, a new one, and so it ended up working out perfectly. And that client was wonderful, and we went in and made a beautiful rental unit for them, and so it ended up being full circle moment. Yeah.
Do you have rentals yourself? Do you also invest?
I have one rental, but it's a long-term rental.
Okay.
And I'm actually selling it right now. So I'm trying to decide, do I pull it off and keep it, or do I sell it? But it's a 3-bedroom in Beaver Creek over by the wharf.
Okay.
Never flooded, and because some of those.
It's going to be a hot spot though soon because that bridge. It's going to open it right up.
And it's beautiful. We went in and gutted it. Everything in it is brand new. Everything in it is new. And so new
yeah, I
kitchen,
saw it when it hit the market. It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's empty right now, and we thought about staging or furnishing it, but we're just gonna see what it does, and if it doesn't sell, we're fine. It's it's paid off, and or if we end up putting it back on the rental market.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Right now, I don't want any short-term rentals for myself. I like doing.
It's a lot of work.
People. I just don't have the time. I'm trying to build an empire of other things, and so So yeah. So I it's kind of like grandparents who love their grandbabies because they only get them for a short period of time, then they hand them back.
Yes, I understand that.
My dad says no better lights than tail lights. You can feed them and love them and send them home.
Yep. I will love your condo, and I will make it look beautiful, and I'll get it up on that rental program, making a premier income for you. But then I love to kind of hand it off once we're done.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
So.
Okay, what is, or maybe I should just ask, do you have one item that you feel like really elevates a room that you try to incorporate or you like to incorporate?
Rugs. I love rugs
Yeah.
because I feel like they are art for your floor. I think that a rug can really tie a room together. And same with pillows and art, but sometimes when I look at a room and it doesn't have a rug in it, unless it's carpet, but we don't
Right.
do a lot of carpet out here.
Right. No.
So I think rugs are important, and I think that they've come so far with rugs that we're going to hold up, and
Throw it in the wash.
throw it
I
in the
mean,
wash.
who
Some
would
of
ever
them
dream
even
that?
True.
exactly,
Pluggable, yeah.
exactly. You have to be very careful. I can always tell who's new down here doing design on if they put the wrong rug in a rental, because we know what's going to be vacuumed and what's going to be avoided.
Yes.
What's going to soak up a stain and never come out. What you shouldn't spend a lot on rugs in a rental, but
Right.
but you should definitely have them.
Absolutely.
It softens a space. It makes it more interesting. It stops that swipe. So for me, I love a good rug. I
Yeah.
love rugs. I can spend hours looking at rugs.
That's good though to be like,
That is
don't
true,
spend too
though.
much money because you are going to replace them because they're going to throw wet, salty towels on them,
So
and
true.
Yeah.
they don't care. It's not
No.
their house. You
No,
know what I
and
mean?
indoor outdoor rugs now are
Yeah.
beautiful. They're affordable. Tightly woven wool are great. But the thing about rugs also is a place to, when you get out of bed, put your feet on something soft. All of that. Some of the management companies have gone to all. I'm all about that all white bedding, but I always think you should have a throw at the end and pillows.
I'm so there with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but some of the management companies don't allow that, and so they kind of look very
Sterile.
sterile.
I
Yes.
I know,
Hospital,
it's true.
yeah.
You've got to have that rug then.
I agree.
If they're not going to allow you to have throw pillows and a throw blanket at the end of your bed in your rental, especially in your pictures, you better have a great rug and great art.
I agree with
So,
that.
and I know I'm focusing a lot on investment properties because we do that a lot out
Sure.
here. But obviously in a home too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the process if someone does want to work with you? They just call, schedule an appointment. Is there a
Yes.
fee for your...
Their consults are totally free.
Okay.
So basically call us or come in and we do a free consultation. They can last anywhere between, we've had them last 10 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay.
Typically, if we can walk the property and consult at the same time, even that works, or we'll consult and then go walk the property, or other way around, we'll go walk it and then come back and consult about what they envision.
Okay.
The consult's all about the client and the property. We kind of get into what we offer as well and answer any questions for them, and they get to know us and what we offer. But it's really all about them, how they envision it, how they want it to sleep, how they want it to feel, how if they're going to use it, how their family will use it,
Yep.
what's important to them, what they love, what they hate. It's important to know if somebody hates the color yellow. I need to know that.
Of course. Do you do all the consultations, or now you have staff do them? Or you still micromanage
mix.
that?
I like to be the first
I know.
contact.
I get that.
I want the clients to know me and know what I stand for and what I'm about, and I want to be accessible to them.
Yes.
So a lot of times I do the first initial,
And then you delegate.
and then and every design job at Mint gets 2 designers on every job. It doesn't matter, and the reason why is 2 aesthetics are better than 1. It makes it more interesting. Also, we're so busy that nothing falls through the cracks. Somebody's always available, and then I'm basically on every job, but I just kind of oversee them. And a lot of times I'm the quickest at design, and so they may say, Ardie, we're slammed. We need 2 rooms done. And I'll say, okay, what rooms? We need a queen room and a bunk room. Great, I can get them done within an hour. I can easy for 2 bedrooms. So I can do them, and then I hand them off, and then they write them up and get them going. But I usually like to do the initial contact. Consults, though, and walkthroughs now, my team is so good and so amazing, finally, that they really could I could leave for a year and I'd come back and the place would be running great.
I know. Do you take time off for yourself? Or you're still in that?
I do now more than I used to. I used to feel like I needed to be around.
Yeah.
It was
That's
that
the hard
that
part.
buzz of
Trust me,
yeah.
it was 24/7 until.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And now I'm very
you
good with the
crash and burn,
boundaries,
you're like,
and
okay.
I'm very
Yes.
good with letting go now.
Yeah.
I am too. It's because now I have people around me I can trust.
That's
There's no
true.
longer this buzz of anxiety that I became like my dark passenger. Like, you ever watched Dexter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I had a buzz of anxiety on me within me all the time that I just thought was part of me. Well, now that I have the right people around me, that's gone.
Yes.
And so, yes, I can take time off. But what I'm finding is my time off is just more time for me to build another business, is kind of what I'm really, I do take time and relax, but I'm really all about building right now.
Yeah.
And so, but what it's given me is time to go and do that, when before there was no way. I was kind of bound by Mint, Orange Beach.
Yeah.
So,
So when you started Mint,
Yes.
you saw there was a need,
yes.
and you have filled that need.
Yes.
And you have really built your business
Yeah.
to touch every aspect of that.
Right.
Now we're segueing into a new business.
Yes.
You see there's a need.
Yes.
Can you
Yeah.
touch base on the new business and talk about it? Not the new
Absolutely.
store, but the one that's coming at the wharf. You know.
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
So we just noticed that there wasn't a whole lot of places to shop here for men in Orange Beach or Gulf Shores. There's a lot of women's boutiques, and they're all fabulous and great. I know a lot of the owners, and they all offer such cute different things and stuff, but there really wasn't a lot of option for men, unless you were going into a bait shop to buy fishing shirts.
Sure, which they all wear.
Which they all wear, because
I'm the
Yeah.
exception. I don't.
No, you don't. That's my husband's
So I'm real
wardrobe,
excited.
Literally.
yeah, and a lot of agents and brokers, and they need to step it up and dress
True.
nicer, and so there's only one real men's store in Orange Beach, which is wonderful. I mean, my sons and my husband shop there at the Wharf Archipelago. It's
Yeah.
a great store. Steve
And they're
is
great
awesome.
people, yeah.
They're great people. We've supported them for years. We've spent a lot of money in there. We
Yeah.
will continue to. But we've noticed that there was a real void of places or more options for men to come and really shop.
Yes.
And so so my son, Chris, had said, let's do it. Let's open a store. I said, all right, let's do it. I didn't even really think about it. We were just, before you know it, we hit the ground running. And Chris, my son, is incredible. He's not like any other 19-year-old that you'd ever want to meet. He's extremely smart, and he's a force to be reckoned with. I used to say I don't worry about him at all. He'll rule the world one day.
That's amazing.
But he named it. He did our logo. He wrote our business plan. He did our financials. He talked to
At 19.
At 19, and while carrying a full load on a full academic scholarship at Alabama.
Wow.
So he did all of this kind of remotely. He talked to the board at the wharf, and so we got the ball rolling very quickly. We're going to go into the new Portside area,
Which I love that build out. It
I
looks
do
so
too.
good.
Oh
That's
my
the best thing
gosh.
they've done.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's so fresh. It's good.
I know it's kind of.
And they're gonna have little
38-ish.
concerts. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They're gonna have little concerts out there in that green area. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Concerts,
really- it looks really good,
Jumbotron.
yeah.
They have so many great things coming to that area.
And I'm kind of like, do I want to move over there? I mean, I like where we are, but it's so nice.
It's so nice,
Yeah.
and their office spaces upstairs.
Yeah.
You've seen them; they're beautiful.
Oh yeah,
So
the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing, the whole vibe is just—it's so elevated from what we've have out here. that I'm
Yes.
like good. I like this direction.
Yeah.
Like, keep it coming.
Yes.
So started with the school and the fire house, and now we're seeing it
Yeah.
at the wharf, and I'm liking this. So
Yeah. I know. I'm like, when I drove
yeah.
by the school and the firehouse, I'm like, can we just leave those Christmas lights on all year long?
all
They look so
year.
good.
I know.
You know, they have
I
the
know.
white lights across the
Yes.
top, you know,
Yeah,
on the roof
yeah,
and on
yeah.
the
Yes.
windows.
Yeah.
It just looks fun.
So it does, I know. So we are we're excited. It's going to be a really the store is really going to cater to men. It's going to make them feel really important. We've got a lot of things that are coming that just have not been done out here. You know, you can walk into any boutique out here, and they kind of cater to women. I can call
True.
from my store and say, I don't have time. Can you just bring me my size? They'll do it. Things like that. We want men to feel really important, catered to. We will have everything. The name of the store is Salt and Stone. But it's spelled like how you'd see it in the dictionary. So it's SOLT with a little TP over the O, and then STON with a line over the O. So Salt and Stone, kind of signifying everything from water to earth. We'll have everything from activewear to beach and wear. I won't have fishing shirts. I think we've got
That's
enough.
good.
There's
We got
enough.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's,
There's enough. Yeah.
Between Shades and Sam.
Yeah.
Exactly,
enough.
and let them shine in their area
Yeah.
to shine, and so we'll have everything, everyday wear to evening wear and sports
So you'll
coats.
have some like custom tailoring and things like
Yes,
that.
we will offer all of that. We have some really great ideas and programs in place. We have a lot of great collaborations that are coming, and so things that men haven't had here. And that they don't even know they're missing until we tell them that they're missing
Right.
it. And so I won't say too much because I don't want to say it until it's happening.
Yeah.
But just really excited, and I'm excited for Chris. Chris is taking online classes this next semester. He's moved home.
He's going to move back to do it.
Yeah, he was in business school.
Probably a better move. I mean, honestly.
I know,
telling
because
you.
I'm
Yeah.
a business management major.
Yeah, I know.
I was an art major.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
It's like,
sell
yeah,
houses. Yeah.
I had
exactly.
fun. My parents
Yeah.
wanted me to get a degree, so I
That's
got
what
one.
my
and I
dad
had
said.
fun.
You're getting
Yeah.
a degree. I'm like, fine, I'll get
See,
a
and
degree.
for us, we told Chris, we're leaving it up to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I'm going to
That's
be with
how I'm
my
gonna be,
kids
yeah.
too.
He has the tenacity. He thinks like an entrepreneur.
Yep.
He's an extremely hard worker. He's very smart. I mean, he did all of this, and Jason and I, the only thing I did was hop on a plane. In 4 days, we had our business name. We had business cards printed. We worked on it. We got our license. Within like 4 days, we hit the ground running, and then we booked a flight, flew to North Carolina, went and met with all of our reps, and then handed it over to Chris. He's done all of our ordering.
Amazing.
He's done everything. He helped. I helped design the store, but he had a hand in all of it. And so the store is going to be unlike anything we've seen out here. Really, really chic and cool and warm and inviting.
I'm
Very
excited.
exciting. When does it
So-
open?
We were shooting for before Christmas, but because it's taken a while to get the permits, now we're looking at January.
Okay.
And so we had Stead McCullough step in and do the plans, which
best.
I was a fangirl. I mean, I can't even tell you. You came in with his wife to my store, and I
Right.
was like, oh, yeah. So
She was.
yeah,
She's like,
can-
I remember
yeah.
you years ago. You walked past where I was, and you had this fabulous dress on or skirt on or something.
Gosh,
She said, I
black
can
and
still
white
see
skirt.
it.
She was like,
Isn't that funny?
That's
Oh.
so funny.
she
Yeah.
was so beautiful, and they just I just am such a huge fan of his, and
They're just
and
great
his
people,
work
and humble and kind, yeah.
and just you just know you're sitting in the presence of greatness when you're with them. When I was sitting at his I went in. I should tell this story. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first moved here, I didn't know anybody.
Yep.
Chris was in school. Jason traveled. My husband traveled all over the world when we first moved here. He worked in 72 countries. So
What does he do?
he was an engineer, but he did heavy moving. So offshore oil rigs, nuclear reactors. He had contracts with Austal. When the plane crashed in the Hudson, he's the one that took it from the Hudson to where I can't remember where it ended up now. But so he did very, very, very large moves all over the world. Big windmills, the up mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
He's since retired from that. Now he works for Mint. I would tell him all the time.
Oh, he
works-
does?
He works for me.
He does?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So he's the only one I use and abuse. The rest of my
I know.
okay, yeah.
I know how that
Yeah.
goes.
So but he what were we talking about? Yeah.
I
Something
do
about
that too. I stop.
oh my gosh.
Stead, fangirl.
Head, yeah. So when I first moved here, I knew nobody, and I was at home, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know anybody. So so somebody said, well, I know the owners at Villaggio and I think Jenny Lane, and I think they had Gilby's or something opening at
Yeah.
the time. And I said, just 2 days a week, just get me out of the house 2 days a week. I'll work at a restaurant, because I had taken one over, and I was a general manager and redid their menu and redesigned it in California before I met Jason and moved here. So I said, yeah, but I only want 2 days a week. So I interviewed, and they said, yeah, but our requirement's 3 days a week. And I said, no, it's too much. 2 days a week, I'm good. So I went and I worked, and I think I was at 3 days a week sometimes, and then I would pick up shifts every once in a while if they needed me. But I worked at Villaggio for a little while when I first
Wow.
moved here. Yes, yes. And I met some of the greatest people, and I had a good time with it, but it wasn't. It was just a way to get out of the house and meet
And
people.
just meet people, yeah.
That's where I met Stead. And what's his wife's name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. And because I waited on them. Well, I just fell in love with them as people, like just waiting on them. Like they probably didn't know. All I'm doing is giving them an iced tea and a Villaggio pizza or whatever. And inside I'm thinking, God, these are really great people. Well, and I just thought she was so beautiful and so kind, and they were just amazing. And one day I was, doing whatever, my side work or whatever, and she walked past the window. And I was mesmerized by her. She was in that black and white skirt, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. So I just and that was years ago. Well, I show up years later, fast forward. He has sent me clients, by the way, wonderful clients. I don't know if you guys know Chase Rainey, but he's a bigwig over at the Wharf, and so we did his house, and he was a referral from Stead. So when I found that out, you had to pick me up off the floor because I thought, whoa, that's full circle.
Yeah.
What an honor. And so he has sent us more and more people, and so when I sat down in his office to talk about Salt and Stone, I told him, I said, I got to tell you, I'm like totally fangirling. And he said, well, where do I know you from? Because he was sending me people based on my reputation.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
when he saw me face to face,
he didn't.
he said, how do I know you? You look familiar. Have we met? And I said, oh, yes, it was from Bellagio. Like, I waited on you, And so finally we got to talking and whatever. And then at the end, he said, it wasn't Bellagio. I know you from Mint Decor. And I was like, oh. Oh my gosh. I just gave away my whole, yeah. Yeah. I refilled your tea. Right. Yeah. But
that's full circle. I love that.
Circle.
I love that.
And since
they're
then.
great people.
They're great.
Some of my best friends. I mean, honestly.
Oh, they are, they're just those people.
Yes.
And then his work. I mean, come on, it just doesn't get better. So
Have you seen their house? They just listed it. They're about to build in, I probably shouldn't say. They're about to build.
Yeah.
So, but they're selling their home.
Yes.
And you should see the before and afters. I mean, it's like.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know.
Even
And Rebecca's like, oh, somebody wants to show it. I've got to put out the right flowers and the orchids
Yeah.
and all. I'm like, you don't.
my
yeah.
God.
I'm like, you don't have
Cookies.
to. It
Gotta
looks.
bake cookies
It
and
looks
get the-
perfect.
yeah.
Even you're dirty. It looks perfect.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
yeah.
I can imagine because his office is just the
It's
vibe
cool.
of his office is.
But both of them have really excellent style.
yeah.
I mean,
Wish I
Yeah.
had that eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's really kind of behind the scenes. Like, no, you need to use this color.
Yeah.
You do this.
Oh, I
you
can.
know.
Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can typically. I can tell just by looking at somebody if they've got it.
They've got it.
Yeah, she's got it. She even the look that she said she was going for in the new home when I talked to her, that's kind of the vibe that I'm really digging right now. And the vibe of his and the look and the feel of his office is kind of a lot like what Salt and Stone is going to feel
Okay.
like.
Well, then I can see it. Yeah.
So
Because it's a cool space.
it's a cool space.
She's always like 2 steps ahead of like what kind of comes, because
Yeah.
she was doing like the English cottage years ago. Like her
Yeah.
kitchen is,
Yeah.
she's got like the stained pine ceilings
Yes.
and the kitchen is painted. It's called Railings by
Yep.
Farrow and Ball.
Yep.
It's like a
Yep.
black navy.
Oh, you have to
Totally
show me.
know
I mean,
that.
I'll look it up
sexy.
on
Oh yeah.
Zillow.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
When we're done, I'll look it up on
Yeah, I'll have to
Zillow.
show
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sexy house. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of that vibe that we're
Okay.
gonna go with in
Okay,
Salt
very
and Stone.
cool.
So we've got Stead, and then we've got the builder, the build out starting now, and we're keeping it pretty simple. It's going to be interesting but simple. So we're hoping that it goes quickly.
Yeah.
And
Good. Very
yeah,
exciting.
I'm really excited, and Chris is. Chris is my son, and he is just incredible.
Amazing
at
at
styling
19.
and
Amazing.
oh, and he's the kind that will cater to you. He will know you. He will know what you like. He will have it ready for you. I mean, he's just kind of that kid. The same attention to detail that we do at Mint will be happening at Salt and Stone too. And then we can't wait to announce some of the cool things that we're doing.
That's fun.
And we were really careful. Also, I should probably say to not sign with any of the same vendors that Steve has or anybody else in the
That's
work.
smart. Have
We-
variety and don't
Yeah,
want competition.
absolutely.
And,
no
you know,
competition. We
Yeah.
don't want any to. We want to celebrate,
Grow
and
each other,
share.
yeah.
Exactly. We want to send people to him if we don't have it, and
Vice versa, right?
And vice versa. So we really just want to be big cheerleaders for everybody in that whole area. We're excited for Top Golf, for the simulated golf to come in. think
I didn't
that's
know
gonna be
that.
great.
Either did I.
Where's that going?
Right across from us.
Oh my
So the
God.
whole, how it's a U.
Yeah.
So we're on this corner. We have the whole corner here, and then it's all kinds of boutiques and wine bar and a cookie place and,
Yep.
a kid's store, and then it comes around in this whole wing here. This whole side here is going to be simulated Top Golf, and they're going to have food and drinks and
Fun.
yeah.
So much fun.
It's going to be a little hot spot.
Oh, it's going to be a hot spot. They have so many cool things. They're doing Adirondack chairs in the grass area and cornhole, and it's going to be a great place for kids and for families and for. They're going to play games there on the jumbotron and all kinds of things. So
I can't wait.
nice.
yeah, Yeah. Here we go, Orange Beach.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
every time we travel a lot, or we used to, we don't really anymore. But every time we go to these big cities, we got to go shopping.
I know.
Oh,
Because the
yeah.
shopping
we need
here
our
is
designer
not.
stores here.
Yeah.
We need our Gucci. We need our Louis.
Right.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
we need. And
I
then we know we've made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'm wearing my
Exactly.
Gucci belt that I bought with Rachel. You know.
Oh, there you go. I don't know what
I had
have a
to. I had to
YSL
rig
bag.
it though. I've lost some weight lately, and so I had to like put a little hole.
Another hole in it.
It was a $600 belt. I can't give it
Yeah,
up. I have to put
I
another
know.
hole.
I've done it before.
I'm telling you. Oh, yeah.
Once we get those stores, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
looking.
I'd be fine with like
yeah.
a factory outlet or something. Like just something a little more.
something.
Tanger's not doing it for me. You know, like we got to have something. So.
Oh, you don't even know. That's why when we go to California, I take an extra. Well,
You shop. That's when I go
gotta have
to New
another
York.
bag.
I shop.
Yeah.
There's no shopping.
Do you know how many suitcases I have from like where I'll run up and I'll go, I'll just grab another one from TJ Maxx just to
Right.
get home.
Yes.
Because I filled it with everything.
Yes.
That we've and we do we go to Vegas and shop in Vegas because that's where you.
Oh
That
yeah.
is nice.
That's where you go, and that's where Chanel is, and
I know.
Gucci, and all of the.
I know.
all the
travel
stores.
Yeah.
and shop. There's,
Yeah, that's what we do.
Here's working. There's no
Yeah.
playtime. When
But
you
it doesn't make any sense though. Like our area is so fast growing. Like even the Eastern Shore.
Yeah.
Like that mall. Like
Yeah.
Tank.
I know.
It should
Yeah.
be so
well, I
elevated.
even say I was like, I'll walk downtown Fairhope and shop one day. I've
Yes.
never done it.
Yeah,
Because I'm in when I'm here, I'm working.
Yeah.
When I travel, then I could go shopping and playing. And,
right.
We find time when
That's
we're shopping.
the-
when
that's-
we're,
Here?
No, when we're
Oh
away.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, here.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Like,
no.
do we want to go sit for 3 hours at a
Oh,
meeting about financials and real estate, or do we want to go shopping?
I know.
Let's go shopping.
The whole time I'm like, there's people that go on vacation and they take pictures of them on hiking waterfalls and whatever they're doing actively, like overachievers, and then there's me. I'm shopping.
Shopping.
And I've got my latte and I'm looking I'm
Yes.
thinking the whole time, where am I going to lunch?
Right.
So-
Yes.
Where are we gonna eat?
where am I going
Somewhere
to eat?
nice.
Where
What's
am I
the
going
hot
to shop?
spot? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just got back from California, and that, I mean, talk about shoving your suitcase full.
Because you
and
used to live in California, you said.
I'm from California.
You're from
Yeah.
California.
Yes.
What area?
Like Laguna Beach, Newport.
Okay.
That
Okay.
whole-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dana Point. So if anybody
Yep.
knows, Dana Point's right next door to kind of Laguna Beach
Yeah.
and all of that area. So
We went to where was that?
San Diego?
We didn't love the location. It was Anaheim,
oh yeah,
which but we had to get out of Anaheim
Yeah.
to go to like the good spots.
You
But we
did.
went to the Quiet Woman. Is that what it's that's
Yeah,
on
the Housewives.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
We were looking for somebody, but
I
we didn't see
actually,
anybody.
I am. I'm friends with. Do you guys know who Ricky is from the Housewives of Orange County? Ricky, he was Tamara's best man. He's been on. He's actually now lives in LA, so he's friends with he's with all the housewives. But
Okay.
so he and I are friends. In
Well, that's
fact,
fun.
he was just like each other's stuff all the time. And
Right.
yeah, but I interviewed once with Vicky. When
Really?
I was
To do
licensed
her?
to do no I was I used to sell life insurance, health and life insurance. I whatever.
Oh
That's-
my
did that in
gosh.
California for a short period of time in another lifetime, and was interviewing with companies, and her percentages were lower than the other one, so I took the other job. But it was
Wow.
before the Housewives, so I didn't know who she was.
Of course. Right.
Until later, I was like, oh my gosh, I could have worked for Vicky. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What a small world.
That is
Oh, you
funny.
see them. You see them when you're out there
Yeah.
sometimes.
I bet.
Because that's my cousin lives in Newport, and that's where a lot of the time they're, out eating.
Yeah.
And stuff, so.
Probably we didn't see them because we were like looking for them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, last time I was in California, not the last time, but the time before that, we decided on the way to the airport to stop and get pancakes. And so we pull up, and who's standing right next to my car? Right next to my car was Heather Dubrow.
Wow.
And so I got out, and Chris is in the back seat, and Jason, they're like, don't do it, do not do it. Chris is like, Mom, don't be that girl. And I'm like, I have to be that
All right,
girl.
I'm
I
that
have to. I
person.
have to.
I'm that person.
Yeah. And so they were leaving a place called Perspire, I think, it's like a place where you go in and you sweat and
Yes.
saunas.
So she's
And-
really like, don't talk to me.
Oh, she was standing out talking to somebody who was famous, but I couldn't place her. They had no makeup on her, but I'm like, I know her too. Is she another? But I couldn't place her. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And even prettier in person. And so I said, I don't ever do this, but I have to. I said, I have to tell you that I just think you're such a class act, and just keep being you. And she was so kind and so wonderful, turned and talked to me. She's like, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you came up.
That's
and
That's awesome. Yeah.
what's your name? And, I said, my name's
I like it
Ardie.
when they're
And
nice.
yeah, she was, and it wasn't fake. It
Yes.
wasn't like, oh, God, I got,
That's just who she is.
Yeah, she was an absolute class act, super nice. And then she told me where to eat. She said, are you going to Stacks? And I said, we are. And she said, oh, you're going to love it. I think she told me what to order, but I mean, literally took time and spoke.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
I was like, oh, I just met Heather. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So she was awesome. So anybody who tells you that she's not nice in person, it's not true.
That is
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time we go to the airport.
The airport, you're looking
Yeah.
for people.
No, I'm just saying, like, when I go to the airport in Atlanta,
Yeah.
I always see someone famous. And I
Do
tell,
you?
Yeah, and I tell my wife, I'm like, we're going to see someone famous. She's like, no, we're not. One
know.
time we saw Nene.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
which is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But she was full incognito, don't
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to me. So I read the room.
Yeah.
And then one time we met the Teen Wolf. There was an MTV show called Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
It was the two
yeah,
stars.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
before they were really famous. I knew them. My wife didn't
Yeah.
have a clue
See,
who
I
they
don't
were.
think, I'm never
She's the
paying
first in the
attention.
photo op, though. She's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know who these boys are, but I was the one that was like, those are
Yeah.
the Teen Wolves,
Yes.
We did that with, remember in Mobile when that Fortune
I know,
Feemster
we
or
did.
whatever,
Well,
the comedian.
I would love to meet her.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
but
yeah.
we were just
like-
eating dinner, and
Yeah.
she
She
like
just
we
walked
were
by.
going to her comedy show, and
Yeah.
she walked around the corner. We're like, "Here, you're here."
And the funny thing is my wife Grace is the fan. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know her.
I didn't really. I mean, I
until-
knew she was on Chelsea lately, and I knew
Yeah. Yeah.
and she was funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, why don't you and John come with us, and we'll go
Yeah.
make dinner,
It
and
was
we'll go eat dinner and then go to the thing.
funny.
She walks by, you would think we were the fans.
Yeah.
Like we're like,
Yeah.
let's take a picture. We jump up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and meanwhile Grace is like, can I have a picture?
Yeah. Aw, yeah.
So
Yeah.
funny.
I like her. I would like to meet her.
I like to meet celebrities.
Yeah.
That was a good
Yeah.
show too.
The one I did not like though, I met.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't meet him. I interacted. Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
He was a jerk.
That doesn't shock me.
I was really surprised. I'm name dropping. I say, huh?
Yeah.
Where'd you see?
We were at the High Museum in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I think this was also, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It was like the
Yeah.
Marley Me time. And I
Yeah.
think he went through like a little depression or something.
He fights some demons.
Yes.
He fights some demons.
So
yeah.
we're walking and we're crossing. There's a bridge in the High
Yeah.
Museum, and we're coming across each other. He all of a sudden like covers his nose because that's a dead giveaway,
Yeah.
And then I was like, that person looked really familiar.
Yeah.
Who was? And then all the staff was like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Owen Wilson. I was like, oh. And then he like gave me a look like, don't
Yeah.
talk to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll read through him.
Yeah.
So we were like, finished the thing.
Yeah.
We go down the shop.
Yeah.
And this mom with her daughter who was like 9 was like, my daughter is such a huge fan. Can we take a
Aw, yeah.
picture? And he's like talking or whatever. And then she breaks out her phone. He goes, I said no photos. Yeah. So he was really, I was like, you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
like
done.
you anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
That has to
Sorry
be
for your
hard,
demons, but I don't like you.
though. Yeah, that has to be hard.
I know. If you just want to have a day like by
Like you
yourself.
just want to
I
like
know.
go to a store. Like I can't
know.
imagine. Like you just
know.
want to go to a store.
And some days I'm like, even now, remember when I was like, I got to find how
I
to
know.
strategically place my
I
hands so
know.
you can't see my belly roll. Can you imagine if they got you at every angle?
I know.
Oh, gosh.
And you're having a bad day.
I
or
haven't even had my partial facelift yet.
Dad's dad. Dr. McCullough could do
I'm
it.
telling you.
He's
I'm
really
telling
good.
you, yeah.
He did Bear Bryant's,
Oh, okay.
People don't believe that, yeah. He he has like a bronze, there's a whole documentary on it, but he did Bear Bryant's face.
Yeah.
His facelift.
I'm telling you, it's on my list of things to do because I literally I did another podcast recently and I watched it and I thought, how is my face melting forward? Like I look like a Shar-Pei. Like
No.
when did this
You
happen?
look
Listen,
great.
when I did Botox the first time, I was like, oh my God. I watched those old videos and then
Yeah.
after I was like night and day.
Oh yeah. I'm a huge
You
fan.
s-
I'm a huge fan of doing what you got to do and
Shoot it
like
up.
no judgment here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we wear lipstick and Gucci sweaters, which by the way are so cute. And, so I mean, we get our roots done when we're able to get
Yeah.
in, and so why not? If you need a little something, I
agree.
carry all my stress right here.
Oh, yeah.
my,
Do
right
you?
my 11. So yeah, so I'm like,
11.
shoot it up.
My wife's always
Yeah.
kicking me like, change your face, because I'll be like, especially if somebody's singing at like a performance or
Yeah.
church, I'm
Yeah.
always like, it's not because I think they're bad. It's because I'm like, are you gonna hit the note? Or,
yeah.
I'm like feeling it for them.
Yeah.
She's like, stop it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's awesome.
I mean it nice. Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, so if Mint Decor
Yes.
was a song,
Yeah.
what song would it be?
That's a hard
Isn't that
question.
stupid? But I love it.
Oh my god.
I would have no idea.
I feel like mine would be Life in the Fast
If
Lane.
Elite was a song, what?
Oh gosh.
We are family.
I think it'd be like a compilation
Yeah.
of I love Walking on Sunshine because
Yeah.
it just feels like sometimes that's what we're doing. If there was a song about, we call it the Mint Show because it sounds a lot like the Shit Show. Sorry if that. If I
No.
No, you're
did it.
good.
Okay.
We say stuff.
But the song hasn't been written yet. I need to write a song about how such beautiful things can come out of a complete shit show because
Yeah.
we are organized, beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
But
and
I totally get that.
Okay, but this is a true story. I tell my
Yeah.
agents all the time because there's a lot of times where it takes time. You're building the foundation, and I
Yeah.
always use like a gardening analogy.
Yeah.
You gotta prepare the land. You gotta plant
Yeah.
the seed. You got and
Yeah.
I always tell them,
yeah.
beautiful flowers come from shit.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
you got to go through the hard stuff
Always do.
to
do.
bloom.
Always.
So don't give up. You're still doing the right stuff. But yeah.
You do, and it's I truly cheer for almost everybody down here who other people might think I see as competition.
Yes.
This is honest to God truth. I don't see anybody as my competition, and I never have. I don't think about them. I keep my blinders on. I worry about what we're doing.
Stay in your lane,
I
right?
don't. I don't
Yeah.
copy what they're doing. We have our own aesthetic, our own thing. So I don't really think about anybody else's competition. I don't really even follow their pages.
That's
and-
how I
yeah.
am too. And I literally tell my
Yeah.
agents, I'm like, the only person you're competing with is the person in the mirror.
That's right.
That
Yes.
is literally all I care.
Be better than you were last year. Do something different. Shake it up.
Absolutely.
Keep yourself relevant. Come up with your own ideas.
But they are watching you.
They're watching us.
Yeah.
And there's some of them that have popped up recently, and I think you can't fast track this, and you can't be where Mint is that quick and copy everything we're doing,
Yes.
calling it magic and calling yourself a team when you weren't doing that before. And
Yes.
if I write, look what we did in 48 hours, they're writing, look what we did in 2 days. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Copying everything we do. And I think, okay, that's all right. But we went through the shit, and now we're blooming, and everybody has to do it. You cannot fast track what we
Absolutely.
do. You just can't do it. And so everybody says see it as flattery, that it's flattery. It's
just
annoying.
plain annoying,
It's
right?
so
Yeah.
annoying.
The
It's not
original.
flattering.
I know.
It is
original.
so annoying.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
It's not flattery.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
It
Like,
is.
Quit
It is.
studying me, study you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you feel sorry for them. Like, you have that much time that you're really caring about what I'm doing.
That's kind of, yeah.
You know,
then,
like-
then you hear, like, people will come to me, and say, I worked over here, I went over here, over there, my friend works there, or whatever, and they actually have meetings where they talk about what
I
has
know.
Mint done.
I
and they're looking
know.
at what Mint did, and I'm like, oh my,
I know.
I know.
that's kind of flattering.
They do that in
But-
real estate too.
They do that in real
We'll
estate.
send screenshots like, why are they so obsessed? Like, why do they
Yeah.
care what I'm doing or
Yeah.
you're doing?
And as long as it's done with kindness, and because I'm a huge fan of a lot of people around here that do what we do, and I will cheerlead for them, and I will never say anything bad about them. Most of them, like I'm a huge fan of Melanie. I think
Yeah.
Melanie does beautiful, stunning work. I've told Melanie before, I'll leave my house for 6 months, and you can have your way with it.
Yeah.
I know I'd come back and love it.
Yeah.
She's just got a different aesthetic and different,
She
it's
does.
good.
It
Yeah.
would be beautiful and clean and white. It'd be like walking into heaven.
She loves pearly white.
She loves those pearly
I
white.
think, really.
Yeah. And it works for her. I tell her sometimes my son and I say she doesn't walk into a room, Melanie floats into a room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something so elegant and beautiful about that, and I will always be a huge fan of hers.
Okay, coffee table books or scented candles? Which would you pick as a gift?
Coffee table books
Every day.
I love
every
coffee
day.
table books.
Every day.
Same.
Love
Yeah.
it.
We just played Dirty Santa at our office party. We never do that, because it always
Yeah.
gets too big, but we
Yeah.
did it this year.
Yeah.
And that's what I gave, and my gift was stolen the most.
It
'cause-
was.
Yeah.
it
That's
was-
a good one.
Yeah.
Also, you can find really good books right now
Yes, you
at
can.
Books a Million in their clearance bin. Like really nice
Oh,
coffee.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
$7 I paid for one.
Oh, no.
And a really thick, nice.
Yeah.
And they have all like the Gucci, Louis,
Oh,
all
they
that
do?
stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like whole series. Those are more like
I bought
50,
a
60, but
Big, huge, really cool black Gucci book that's going to go on the coffee table in Salt and Stone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's at my house just waiting to be.
I love that.
I haven't even taken the wrapper off of it
yeah.
yet. So
This was like an architectural book about like lost tunnels in London, but it was $7.
yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
yeah.
cool.
Books
Every
all
day.
all day. Yep, I got them all over my house too. I love them.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Thoughts
Okay.
on wallpaper? I
Yeah.
want to hear her comment on those.
Love wallpaper.
I know, me
Thank
too.
you.
Love
Okay, tell her
wallpaper.
about your wallpaper. Did you get it installed?
Not yet, but
Okay.
we're gonna do the Gucci wallpaper. In
Oh,
one of the half
yes.
baths.
Have you seen that?
Yes. Is it the birds?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, have I seen it? Yeah.
I know.
I'm
It's pretty
excited
awesome.
about
Like
that.
obsessed. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Good for you.
I know. I'm so into wallpaper.
Did you do?
And I never.
Are you gonna
have
do
it.
them both? The bathrooms both?
Yeah,
One
I don't
each
think
color?
I'm gonna do the other. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do a different one, not the birds there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep it mixed up. Yeah.
Mixed
Yeah.
up.
But still
Love it.
on brand.
Love
like dark
wallpaper.
colors. I'm excited about the dark.
I was just looking at property over the weekend, just kind of, exploring maybe buying something where we're opening the other store, and walked into a home and they had wallpapered
The ceiling.
the ceilings in a
Yes.
couple of rooms, and which I'm all about. In fact, I just did a video a couple months ago, maybe 4 months ago, on Mint this page saying, don't forget your ceilings. That's part of the room.
I
So whether
know.
you're painting them, like I have a room in my house there, the ceiling's painted black and it looks awesome. It's
Love
one of my favorite.
that.
It's a little half bath, but it's awesome.
Love that.
I love texture, wood, wallpaper, paint, anything that makes your ceiling. Don't forget about it.
Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So I'm all about wallpaper. I've been all about wallpaper for a long time. It just took a while to come here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things it takes a while to come here. 'Cause,
Yeah. Yes. I know.
My mom's a designer in California. All my aunts,
Cool.
my cousins, they're all
Okay.
into it. My dad's a builder. So that's kind of our vibe. And then, so you watch what New York's doing. You watch what LA.
We always say that.
My
What
mom
happens in
always
California
had-
comes here.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
my mom always had the wallpaper, and I was
Yeah.
like, but now I'm like super into.
But it's also
Well, it's
different
cheap
than like when
now.
we were growing up.
It's
yeah,
not
it's
ducks and
right.
No,
pears and
Yeah.
remember that little
Holly
trim they used to
Oh,
do
yeah.
everywhere with
Oh
the fruit.
my god!
It made me vomit.
Oh my God.
match it with like a burgundy wall.
Burgundy-
You know, it's like, which we
Or-
had.
yeah.
I mean,
So
my
did
parents
we.
were so proud
Yes.
of this. Like,
I know.
my
The
dad.
strip of wall.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
like I guess paint was hard to come by back in the day. I don't know, but he was
Yeah.
so proud to have Benjamin Moore paint.
Oh, yeah.
that he had custom mixed, and it was like a
yeah.
terracotta kind of burgundy.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
But people loved that room. Every time they came into our house, they'd talk about that room. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, I remember the wallpaper and the trims and the
Oh, yeah.
the trim that looked like books.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
We've come a long way, people.
We've come a long way.
Although they're trying to like bring back Tuscan, that whole Tuscan movement. Like, let's
I
just leave
hope
it there in the
not.
90s.
No.
Unless, yeah. Unless somebody finds a way to really shake
Make
it
it
up
look
and
good,
make
yeah.
Yeah, make it look good. Because sometimes people can. They can take a really bad design and put a twist on it, and
make
then
it
you
look
go,
good.
whoa. Because there were times where I said, now I never say never. Never say
Oh,
never.
yeah.
True.
Because there were times where I was like, nope, I would never get down with that look. And then all of a sudden I see somebody do it and I go, oh, shoot.
Maybe I do
Yeah,
like
Okay,
it.
maybe I do. I better. Hopefully, nobody recorded me.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Use it against me. But so now I'm kind of open. There's certain things that I think, oh God, never.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
most of them, if somebody twists it just right, yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all about wallpaper. I'm all about texture. I'm all about color. I am all about the funk right now.
Yeah.
I want to be surprised. Even in my house, there's things that I want you to be. I want them to be a little bit like
Dramatic.
Dramatic.
Like you want to
Yeah.
be like, ooh.
Yeah.
that
You gotta
was
stop
different.
somebody and be like, what is that?
Yeah.
Never
Everything
seen
was
that.
always like one paint color, everything neutral.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm over that.
They call that
Yeah.
millennial gray. Have you heard that?
No.
Millennials did that.
All the one
because
paint color,
we grew up,
everything
and I really do.
neutral.
I feel with this because like my mother is very intelligent, and intelligent people have
Yeah.
just like shit everywhere. Like she
Yeah.
loves books. So
Yes.
I remember we had like custom bookshelves. To me, it just looked like clutter,
Yes.
and you have stuff on the.
Yeah.
So I'm like the opposite. I want
That's
clean
me
lines. I
too.
want
Yeah.
clean. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't stand clutter.
Right.
Me
I feel like mommy
too.
dearest. Like no
Yeah.
wire hangers.
like
I feel
Kardashian,
like that.
like Kim.
That-
Yeah.
Kim,
I mean,
doesn't
that's a little
even-
extreme.
She doesn't even want.
Yeah.
Can't even see where to touch for light.
But it's funny now. I'm like, I do like the warmth of books, and I
Yeah.
do like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I like a worn looking home.
Organized.
Yeah.
Like
You
I'm
can
I want it curated, but I want it to look like I didn't really do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I want
Yeah.
Yeah.
warmth.
I love
and-
that
Yeah,
look.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah, I like it.
So
I like it. And the great thing about design, the great thing about style, the great thing about everything, wardrobe, everything, is that it should change.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It should change. It should change with how you feel, and it should change. I tell everybody, if you love it, it's in style.
yeah,
Yes.
If you love it, it's in style. Unless unless it's a border wallpaper with
That's right.
That hopefully never
With the pears.
comes back.
Yeah, please don't. It will. It'll come back somehow. They'll figure out a new twist
Oh
on it.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
So no, I'm there's a way to incorporate even in a rental. It's really important. We were talking about consults earlier.
Yes.
But it's important to know the client because our thing that I tell every client is our designers and my ego is checked at the door. It's really about creating a space that they're proud of, and that reflects them. And even if it's a rental, some of our clients go, "I'll never be there. I don't care. I trust you. I've seen your page. Just do it."
That's the best client, right?
That's the best client.
The best
and they
client.
get the most too.
They
Then
let
you're
you
like,
just
"Oh,
do what you want. They
yeah.
don't micromanage you.
Yeah.
I
If
know.
you don't micromanage me, trust me when I tell you you are going to get a better space than you
I-
imagine. Because then I'm going, no, I want it. Then discount it. I don't care. I want it. They're letting me do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
'Cause then
Yes.
you
'Cause
get
you're having fun, yeah.
Exactly. But no, I always joke because, and I can say this because my husband's an engineer, but if the husband and wife come in for the consult and she goes, "Oh God, he's going to want to be all up in everything. He's an engineer." And so I'll say, "Are you an engineer?" And they'll say, "Well, yeah." And I go, "Well, then your design fee just went up." Yeah.
Right.
But even in real
It is
estate,
true.
we know with
It's
the
true.
engineer.
We talk about
Oh.
that. Yeah.
But the thing is, and then sometimes they'll laugh and they'll say, "Oh, okay, well, I'll stay out of it." And I go, "Great, then your design fee just went down."
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I know.
Yeah.
I had who I love. It's a past client that,
Yeah.
or still a client, I guess, but he's an engineer.
Yeah.
And if he did not like the house,
Yeah.
he still wanted to climb up in the attic
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
examine
my
it and tell me why
gosh.
he didn't like it
Right.
and what they could have done to change the build that he
Yeah.
would have liked it.
Yeah.
Which is good, but I'm like, oh my God. Like, we don't have
They
to be
want to
here for-
re-engineer
I
the
am a quick
gutters.
I can walk in and be
Yeah.
like, yes, no.
That's
like,
how
don't,
I am,
You know what I
too.
mean? Like,
I'm the same way too.
so it's
Yeah.
hard for me, in business, and I'm sure with you too, you
Yeah.
have to adapt and
Yeah.
know how people interact and like
So the different
Yeah.
if they're
personalities.
slower than
Yes.
me. And some of
Yeah.
them, they're like, you can't steer your clients. Well, bitch, sometimes I do. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, we're
Yeah.
going to do this. Actually, you do like this house.
Yeah.
Actually, you love this kitchen because
Yeah.
you told me
Yeah.
you love this kitchen. You
Yeah.
just forgot.
Exactly. And sometimes people actually that's what they're paying you for.
They need a push.
They need a push. They need you to know who they are.
Yeah.
It's good when you can read somebody right away and you know what they like and what they don't, and you take their time. You take your time to kind of understand what they need and what they want. They want you to be an expert in what you do, and they want you to have a voice. They don't want to push over,
Absolutely.
because if then they'd have their neighbor helping them or their cousin,
yeah.
their cousin so and so helping them. They come to you because you have the knowledge behind it, and that's one of the things I was saying is you cannot skip the process of learning the hard way. We know what rugs not to use in rentals. We know because we've
True.
used the wrong ones when we started out.
Yes.
We figured it out. We know what to do and what not to do, what bedding to use, what bedding not to use, what fabrics to use, what not to use, how to do certain things certain ways. We found out because when you make mistakes, you learn
You
from
Oh,
them.
yeah.
learn, and that's what it is. It's
you-
all about that.
Yes, you.
Learn
But
how
sometimes,
hard
like
way.
when they're in it, like when they're buying a house, and maybe it's the same when they're designing a space, they can tell you what they want, but then when they get there, all of a sudden they're like, I
Things change.
don't want this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I had this cute couple I'm working with right now, and she just thought she wanted this house, and that was
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah.
But she told me all her needs,
Yeah.
and there was another house, and I said, just look at the floor plan, because what you're
Yeah.
telling me, this floor plan is what you want.
Right.
This house is not, because it's
Right.
got the bedroom upstairs and you've got little babies, and
Right.
you don't
Yes.
want them up there.
Right.
You're right next to the other guest rooms. You want
Right.
separation,
Yeah.
This I don't know. I saw the pictures. I don't like
Yeah.
the flooring or blah, blah, blah. Things you
All
can change.
things that can
Yes.
change.
Right?
Yeah.
We walk in and she goes, oh, I do like this house. I was
Yeah.
like, I know. Let's write the
Yeah.
offer,
Yeah.
So we did. We're
Yeah.
under contract, but
Yeah.
it's sometimes you have to kind of like reinforce them. And also, I'm the kind of person, when I shop, I want you to leave me alone. Okay. I will
Oh my
come.
God,
I will
the
come to
worst.
you.
Our furniture store.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like,
I promise I'll come to you
Yeah.
if I need help. I will
Yes.
ask you.
Yeah.
I like to look. I like to assess the whole space. I want
Yep.
to see the layout of the land, and then
Yep.
I'll like wrangle you
Absolutely.
in.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
that's also the way I operate when I show homes. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be like, here's the kitchen.
No.
Here's the
Right.
bathroom.
Like,
And you
let
got
them
eyeballs. You
talk
can see.
freely.
Yes.
But there are some people that do need direction that I found out, and
you're like,
this couple
here's
did.
the bathroom.
Yeah, honestly, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's just because they're not. It's stuff we do every day.
Yeah.
And we take for granted.
This
you know.
is true too.
Yeah.
You
And
forget.
Yeah.
so it's like, when I showed them the first house, it was like they were paralyzed because I think they had built a fantasy in their head
Yeah.
that this is the house, and it
Yeah.
was not the house.
No.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she didn't know what to do, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to have
They
to
can't
guide
see
them.
past. Yes.
Yeah.
And also telling the story that they might not be. Sometimes they're overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
They don't. So to be able to tell the story of why this works for you and why it wouldn't and what can change and what can't, and that's important too. And to fully understand and to know who you are, to know your strengths, to trust that you know what you're doing and what you're talking about, and the confidence that that gives is what clients need sometimes.
Yeah.
They
True.
need your confidence. And so that's why to dig in, like you were saying, to plant yourself and get through that shit, the shit is what builds you.
Yeah.
So true.
And
so
also,
true.
it gives you confidence because you've already been there and done that. And so some people who fast track certain things, they don't understand that. And so you get to a place where you've done it enough, you've worked with enough people that you can feel their hesitation, you can feel their being overwhelmed, you can feel if they're falling for the wrong house
Yeah.
or the wrong things. Where a lot of times now, where I tell everybody, my designers, you're on this river and you're the guide.
Yes.
And so you have to be able to tell them what to expect and why you've chosen to do this and not that and go down this and that. And if you're the guide, you should know it better than anybody.
So true.
And so we do that, and we tell them, okay, this is why we know you said you wanted this, and you said you love this, but this is why we did this, and trust us when we tell you this will matter. This will matter. This will matter later. And then when they hear us tell the story of why, then they know they're in good hands. We've thought about everything.
Yeah.
We've got their best interest at heart. We're thinking about their investment. We're thinking about why it's going to matter as far as swiping or cleanliness or all those things, So it's the same in real estate.
Yeah.
You have
Absolutely.
to know your product, but you have to know yourself better.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think one thing that people should keep an eye on in real estate, we're going to see, right now, affordability plays such a huge
Yeah.
Yes.
role in people buying.
Yeah.
The cost of the homes have gone up, the interest rates have gone up. So
Yeah.
people are really, selecting. And I think a lot of people are really looking now at a product that is more cookie cutter than
Yeah.
we've ever seen before.
Yeah. Very- Yeah.
There are tons of neighborhoods that have a track built home.
Right.
Because it's
Yeah.
affordable, it's economical.
Yes.
You can't compete as a resale.
Right.
They can buy down the rate so low.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a leaf where people are going to really start customizing these homes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's
Yes.
going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
Like not just like painting the
Yeah.
cabinets.
I
I'm
agree
talking
with
like
that.
gutting the kitchen, doing
Yes.
a full custom kitchen.
Yes.
I agree.
Making
Yes.
their own stamp,
Absolutely.
We've seen like little nuggets of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's going to really start to explode.
I
that
love
we're going to
it.
see it. I do
I
too.
love it. I think
I'm
that-
here for it.
Me too. I think for a long time people conformed. It was more like a housewife thing. You bought that, and the Stepford, everybody did the same thing. They wore the same clothes. They did the book clubs on this, and they had their houses designed and decorated the same.
Yep.
And now there's such a thing about finding your own style and celebrating that and your own individuality and kind of customizing your life and the world around you in a way.
Absolutely.
And I think people are getting more daring, which is fun.
Yeah.
People aren't scared to have their own voice now and
Yeah.
their own style.
Well, it's almost like they were like,
Yeah.
"Can I do that? Oh, I can replace the front door with a wood
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this steel
Right.
door. Or I could
Yeah.
change out a light fixture to be. You know what I mean?
Go funky.
So, yeah, have
and
fun.
Have it. So everybody who knows me, they know I love gangster rap. I love.
Oh, I love
I
it.
love Snoop Dogg. I love Biggie. I love old school gangster rap. That's my thing. I've got a Biggie Smalls air freshener hanging from my
Oh, that's
car right
awesome.
now. Like
I love
That's my jam.
I have a Snoop Dogg ornament on my tree.
I do. So yeah,
And a little
I
Wayne.
have Snoop on the stoop and all
Yeah.
of that. So I that's just kind of my thing. My nickname. Is this okay for the podcast?
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Everybody calls me AMFP, so it's Ardie Mother. F.
Yeah.
Pierce. But
I love
sorry,
it.
Yeah, but that's like even my family would be like AMFP, like that. Like everybody.
That's
just
awesome.
Kind of my
Funny.
what they call me. But I was like, should I do this? Should I do this? Am I gonna, people are gonna think I'm crazy. But I have a huge. I don't even know how big it is. Probably. I don't even know. I mean, it's huge. It's a huge piece of art in my dining room, and it's street graffiti, Biggie Smalls. And
I
it's all
love
colorful
that.
and stuff.
I do
But
too.
that's in my
I
my
love
dining room.
that.
But I thought, oh God, should I? I should probably keep it classy. And then I'm like,
No.
this is who
This
Have
I
is
fun.
your
am.
Yeah.
house.
And I
Yes.
fell in love with that piece of art. I found it in Fort Lauderdale. I had it shipped here, and I love it.
I
So-
love everything.
Are you
about
familiar
that.
with Ashley Longshore? Do you know the artist? Oh my gosh, you gotta look her up.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
she's fun.
Yeah.
But she does these portraits of, she has one of Lil Wayne
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
want
yeah.
so bad. I mean,
Okay.
they're very
Yes,
expensive. They're
yeah.
probably like 20 grand, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
She also does like funny ones with like Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
but it's like
Oh,
looks
I know
real
exactly
modern.
who you're
yeah,
talking-
yeah,
yeah. Yep, I know.
She has some
Yep.
cool stuff.
Yes.
But I'm always like eyeing that Lil Wayne. And my wife's like,
Yeah.
where would you put that in our house? I'm like, I don't know, but I would do it.
I'm telling you, I felt like I want my house to reflect me. And
Absolutely.
That's what I tell my clients all the time is shake it up. Let
Yeah.
it reflect you.
Absolutely.
And so, in our den off of our kitchen, we were in Pensacola one night after dinner, after Global, we were walking around and we walked into a vintage store down there. And my husband has been a huge Pink Floyd fan for as long as, he's been alive practically. But we found an old vintage, huge original picture from when The Wall came out. And it was from France, and it was found the man had passed away, and he had the original movie poster from when the movie came out, and it was framed and it was on the wall in there, and they said came from France, and the son got it when his dad passed, and so my husband said, "Would you allow me to?" And I go, "Allow you, of course, yes, let's buy
Let's
it.
do it.
We don't even need to change the frame. It's black, it's cool."
Yeah.
So we have that in our living room too,
I love that.
so
That's
and he
cool.
thought I was going to say no. I'm like, listen, I have bigger than life, Biggie Smalls in our dining room. If you want Pink
Right.
Floyd in our
I think
Let's
that's
do it.
we
great.
have kind of this music theme going, but
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm all about what you were saying. Customize where you're at.
Yeah.
Make it reflect you.
Yes.
Don't feel like you need to conform and
No.
Well, it's funny because my parents, they were going to build.
Yeah.
And they thought, this will be our last home. Well, they rented, I have a management company, so they rented a
Yeah.
house for me.
Yeah.
Well, it turned out they really loved the neighborhood and,
Yeah.
and their neighbors. And they were like, we like this house. It's,
Yeah.
it's just an Adams home. It's a
Yeah.
4-bedroom,
Yeah.
And so anyway, they worked it out and they bought it from the owner.
Yeah.
And they just went in and they completely gutted the kitchen. I mean, they put
Yeah.
a custom kitchen in.
Yeah.
And it's
It makes
gorgeous.
a big difference.
Yeah.
Make it your
And it
own.
opened up all the
Yeah.
walls, but
Yes.
and they put gas lanterns and they did some, so
Yes,
it's like when you
yeah.
walk in, you're like, oh,
It's them.
and people are like, oh, I could do this in my home, or
100%.
like,
100%.
everything's
yeah.
changeable.
Everything.
Everything is, yeah. Claim your space.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, I think that kind of concludes.
Yeah,
We
I
have a
think that
lot
was
of
great.
stuff we talked about. Yeah. So
yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
so much
for coming.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
This was
Thank
so
you.
fun.
It was so fun,
I know, I
right?
could stay here
Yeah.
all day calling lunch. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for people who do watch us on TikTok and
Yes.
Instagram and Facebook, how could they find you online and reach you?
So they can find us.
And you can look right here and tell them where they can find
Okay. Online, we're mostly on Facebook for Mint. I need to hire somebody for Instagram and TikTok because I'm not that cool. I need to figure that out. But Facebook is Mint Decor OB. I run the page, and so if you write us, it's always going to be me that gets right back to you, or you can call us at the store at 251-256-0358. Ask for design if you're interested in design, or come on down and see us at 12 Market Street here in Orange Beach, and I will be announcing where our other store is soon.
Very
And,
exciting.
And she can
yeah.
ship anywhere in the U.S., right?
I can ship anywhere. A lot of our vendors drop ship and white glove. So
That's awesome.
we can do design from just about anywhere. We've done design in Mississippi, California, all over
Cool.
Florida. Yeah, I mean all over.
Anywhere you have a need.
Yeah, anywhere.
Ardie
Call
Pearce
us.
and Mint Decor's your place.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm a yes girl. I will find a way. I will find a way. So always
Awesome.
ask, and if the worst you can hear is no, but we will bend over backwards to say yes.
Well,
So
that's
very
great.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you again
Thank
for coming.
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you. That was
you.
fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.